Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to part 2 of hopefully not crashing during trying to do the new delve of the Deep Hive in Gems of War. So of course we end up getting a new delve added to the game earlier this morning, and we are trying to do this without crashing. We have been forced to restart our computer because it quite literally crashed from the crash of Gems of War earlier. So now we have to restart. So unfortunately, the stream will be divided in two, which I hate when that happens because it happened yesterday, but that was Gems of War side. Let's see, what's this? Oh, that's not anything. And anyways, so let's go and hopefully not crash now. Let's hopefully not crash. And if it does, then I'm not sure why. There are some alternatives. The next alternative would be, I was actually explaining at the end of before we crashed earlier, and that would be HDMI cable from this computer to that computer, stream off this, have the play on the other one, and that could work. I haven't tried doing that yet, and I'm not sure exactly how to do that setup, but it's something we could pretty easily do. Yeah, it would just take a little bit to set up and figure out how to set up, but it's pretty straightforward, I think. If we did have to do that. But let's just hope it doesn't crash now. Anyways, we're currently trying to get up to Pure Faction. We are currently at Crash, which is at 110 right now. So far, we've lost a total of 6 sigils. So hopefully we stop crashing. And let's keep going. And we'll have to spend a little bit more if we want to go get it done today. But we'll see how it goes. Nothing else. Hopefully we can get compensated some. I'll send a support ticket to them and see what they say. Because we're probably going to lose like 1,000 gems worth of sigils, potentially. Let's see if it doesn't crash now. So you guys set to restart, so we've restarted. And now we have loading screens. But hello everyone once again. Hello Patboy, hello Haley, hello Cookie, hello Isabel, hello Zeddicus, hello Bill, and hello everyone else. Welcome, welcome. I also have pinned all the teams that we're going to be using. Gosh, what are these loading screens too? I know, the loading. The extremely long loading. I'm not sure why this computer hates Gems of War. It really hates Gems of War for some reason. It really hates Gems of War. Loading, loading, loading. Loading, loading? What is this loading screen? What part of you will not Pure Faction this, Delve? Don't you understand? Haha. We will get Pure Faction done. If it's the last thing we do. Alright, let's keep going. Format is this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And we're just going to go rush down every single one. But yeah, a lot of people are having the loading issue. Almost no one was having the other issue I was having, but the loading issue a lot of people are having. This is a server side thing on their ends. Also, a lot more people are probably playing today due to new faction as well, which is heavier on the servers. We weren't even having as big of a load time when we were crashing earlier, though, which is kind of strange. Because now it's taking several seconds per battle just to load through our loot. But if that means it won't crash, I guess it's worth it. How many last tier did I buy? Currently 7, but we're going to need to definitely buy more if we're doing rush method like this. Yeah, this is definitely server side issue right now, not my computer. There's a really high probability that is the case. It's been like that for a couple weeks now. Though I haven't seen it this bad. I keep telling people not to buy the flash offers. When I was explaining the flash offer, I was saying to how good the Vault event flash offer is. I didn't say not to buy flash offers. I said that the Vault event one is better value than what's currently available. Literally, as I was explaining it, I was talking about the better value of the Vault event one. Right, or, you know, when it's a known weekend. So I didn't say not to buy them. I just said Vault 1 is better. The one that gives 3 Vault keys with 50 gems. I'm not sure if they're going to keep doing that, though. because that was pretty good value. So place your bets now. Will we still crash? Or will we not crash? Place your bets. So far, no crash. Hopefully, the restart would have helped. The good old turn it on and back off again. Or turn it off and back on again method. It works for everything. Also, I need to switch out of Rowan. I forgot, we don't have enough damage anymore. I need to go switch to Truffle or something. Oh, so far so good. Just a little bit of lag with servers. But it's not crashing. Let's switch to Truffle. We already have the team saved. Also, I have it pinned to the thing as well. If any of you want to grab either of those 3 teams. And this is the first one in that list. So we're going to be using Farce Troll, Double Truffle into Doomed Glaive. Where's the battle? Go over here, go to fights. Also, since we're going to need more packs, I guess we should buy them now. Because how far do we have right now? We can get to, what is that? That's 380. And we've lost 6 sigils so far. So that's tier 8. Maybe we'll go for a tier 9. Do we go for tier 9? How many gems is that total? That's almost 3,000 gems to get it done. Oh no, we've gone tier 9 before. I guess we will. And I'll see if they can compensate us for any amount due to the thing earlier. I ideally wouldn't have wanted to do this much waste, but we'll go for that. Let it load and go back to the battle. So now we've bought in 9, which is 2,910 total. Anyways, let's go switch over to Truffle now. Paste team. But we're going to try to see if I can get at least 400 gems from them. Because we had to do 2 more than we would have normally. Due to the crashes earlier. There's a good chance I might not be able to get it, but hey, might as well see. Might as well. They're normally pretty good about compensating due to crashes. Not always, though. But my experience in the past has been pretty good in that regard with them. They might give me 25 gems at most. The server issues have reached PS4. Well, yeah, it's across all the servers. Honestly, I feel like all servers everywhere are starting to have that issue. Because YouTube had a really big issue with it yesterday. Gems of War has been constantly having it for weeks. I know, I have proof of every crash. That's one of the reasons why I can normally get away with actually getting compensated. The problem with a lot of people is obviously they're not constantly recording their gameplay. So if they say, oh hey, I crashed like 7 times during this event and lost like hundreds of gems, can I go get 100 gems? They'll be slightly skeptical if you have like no proof. But obviously we quite literally have an entire stream of proof. So it's a bit easier in that regard, since we have really definitive proof that we have lost this much resources, which makes it a lot easier to try claiming them. Maybe they'll give me a complimentary gold key. Well, I'll send a support ticket and I'll let you know how it goes. Also, I thought that was a crash for a second. That was just because I accidentally clicked on the thing which made it lag. That was not a crash. It was just a weird interface thing. That was more so a glitch than anything. You shouldn't be allowed to actually click on that. Because it'll lag the end of the battle. Kind of like how Yagway has a weird lag that they still haven't fixed after like 3 years. Yagway's lifesteal, when it was added in like version 2.2 or whatever it was, or whenever he came around, like 3 years ago or so. Anything that, whenever you win a battle by doing lifesteal off of a trait, it lags the battle by a few seconds and does a weird like glitch thing. It's not that big a deal, but it's still hasn't been patched after 3 years. Let's see. We'll take that over. Grab that. Also, hello, Liz. Welcome. Hope you've been doing well. How much damage is our truffle, by the way? Oh yeah, I'm still using armor. I need to switch to magic. Actually, I need to change to 20% mana start into magic. Why am I still using armor? It's only for Rowan. Let me go make a quick switch. Let's see. We'll go for the thing there. That should be match and dead. It'll be 1,000 treasure maps. Oh no. Okay, let me go and what was I about to go do? Change my metal setup. Let me go do that real quick. Change that to 20%. There we go. 20% into 8 magic. That's more like a truffle. No. Okay. So let's go and head back here. And hopefully not get any crashes. So far so good since we restarted. So everyone who said just turn it off and turn it back on, you are correct. Turning it off and turning it back on so far seems to do wonders. I still find it baffling that that works in so many instances when something isn't working correctly. Yes, whoever said that, you are right. The on-off button is very powerful. I still don't understand why that was happening, though. Because I was doing other stuff this morning, and I didn't have any kind of weird, like, glitchiness at all on the computer. Only when we started doing Gems of War stream did it start. I said, hello, Sir Wolf. Yes, we are back. And we're here until we get Purifaction. Is this the new best farming faction? No. Not even close, I don't think. Doesn't it only have 1 guaranteed treasure room? Unless I'm missing something. I'm pretty sure this delve is only 1 guaranteed treasure room, meaning it's pretty bad for farming. City of Thieves is still the absolute best. But yeah, this one's barely even mid-range. There's nothing too special about this as far as its overall loot. Oh, you weren't sure? Yeah, generally it's based on the amount of treasure rooms that a delve has, more often than not. And a City of Thieves has a lot of treasure rooms. There's only 1 room off from the first room, and this helps increase its loot by a lot. It also has a lot of tier 5s and tier 4s, which helps increase the multiplier even more in synergy with that. And sometimes it's actually even better to have less treasure rooms and more multiplier rooms, which is what the City of Thieves has. Because theoretically, Mirrored Halls has more treasure rooms. However, they're 3 battles off from the first room, and you also don't get those multipliers as quickly. But yeah, this place only has 1 guaranteed treasure room, and it's the last room, or it's the last room in front of the boss room. This delve is a little bit interesting in that it's I believe the only delve in the entire game where you have to take the treasure room. You're actually forced to have to take the treasure room. There is no other delve where the treasure room is just given to you like that. But in this delve, it literally forces you to do it, which is kind of weird. But yeah, it forces you to take the guaranteed treasure room in this delve because you have to take it to take the final battle. Actually, never mind. I lied. No, you don't. I forgot. This one connects to it. I didn't see that little part right there. Okay, so you actually technically don't need the treasure room. Wait. Why am I taking this path? I did not see this entire stream. Can you really just go there, 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 there? Oh, thank you, Zeddicus. Wait, it didn't show up. Oh, gosh. Thank you so much, Zeddicus, for the $25. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Also, I still haven't set that up yet. Gosh, I need to go do that. Thanks for reminding me as well. But you said, I love your stream, cool cat, which is probably the emoji thingy. But thank you so much, Zeddicus. It's greatly appreciated. But thanks for that. But yeah, I did get the money, so don't worry about that. I did get the money. And one nice thing about that is I do get almost all the money too. That donation link, I get 100% of it. The only thing that gets taken away is the PayPal fee, which I think is like 2.7% or something, but that's not unavoidable. But yeah, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Need all the money I can get right now. It's also why I've been streaming quite a bit more than normal. Because things are pretty unpredictable now because of virus and everything. Let's see. I do have some money in savings, but it's only going to go so far. Let's see. And I mainly say that because my household income is very, very low right now. Or lower than normal, because it's basically been halved. Because my mom's out of work. And most of our expenses are based on both of us working. Okay, so yeah, we can just take a straight line. How did I not see this entire time? I am very blind. I honestly did not see this line this entire stream until literally just then. So we've been streaming for like 2 hours now, even though this got divided to stream, and I didn't see that. Okay, we'll have to go take that. Well, thank you for that, Zeddicus. It's greatly appreciated. And also, thank you, pal, for the $5. Also greatly appreciated. No comment with it, but still just as much appreciated. Yeah, I still didn't fix that so they'd show up on screen. It's just a glitch with the Streamlabs thing that I didn't fix yet. Well, not really a glitch. It's just it's still on the old format, and we needed to go make into like that newer format that they have. I've been meaning to switch over to Stream Elements as well. I don't know. Maybe I'll stick with Streamlabs. I'm still not sure, but regardless of which way I do it, I do get 100% of those donations. So it is appreciated. It's one of the reasons why I don't actually use the YouTube one. YouTube takes like 30% of all donations when you do it through the YouTube thing, which is annoying. But I don't know, maybe I'll eventually activate it, but it just seems like it's wasting a lot of people's monies, since it's just going to the abyss that is YouTube. They make enough money already. They do not need more money. Okay, so yeah, we can actually just go straight path, can't we? Oh, you really love the recent Animal Crossing streams? Well, thanks for that. Yeah, we'll be doing it again tomorrow. There's a few other things I need to get done today after the stream, as well as recording that video once we get the stream done. We'll probably do that before the other stream. But, yeah, we'll be doing Animal Crossing again tomorrow. We will not be doing a Gems of War stream tomorrow morning, by the way. It's one of the reasons I want to get the faction done today. Or if not completely done, at least like a good amount of progress done. And that is mostly because tomorrow morning we will not be doing Gems of War. We'll be doing Animal Crossing again. Basically, for now on, or at least the current plan, into at least the next few weeks, at least, is we will be streaming Animal Crossing on the mornings of Monday to Thursday, as well as Saturday, Sunday. And then Monday and Friday, I will designate towards Gems of War and everything else that I haven't been doing on those other days, just to catch up. So that's pretty much the game plan. Is use Monday and Fridays for the next few weeks or so for Gems of War related things, and then Animal Crossing for the rest. Still do keep in mind we will still have the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time stream every day, even if we're doing Animal Crossing like we always do. But yeah, Animal Crossing has been a lot of fun. Definitely advise checking it out if you haven't already. It's a really chill game. Oh yeah, I'm never going to use time travel in Animal Crossing. It completely defeats the point of Animal Crossing. Like, I didn't mind doing it for, like, Stardew Valley, like a few glitches here and there and stuff like that. Especially with how unavoidable some of the words, because they were, like, so easy to do on accident, just because there were so many glitches in that game. But something like Animal Crossing, with how it's set up, it really ruins the experience if you time travel. And while you might be able to get things, like everything you want, it really ruins the pacing of the game completely. Why don't I use Twitch? I personally prefer YouTube. I started on Twitch, used it for like a couple weeks to like a month or two, and then I like permanently switched over to YouTube. Oh no, I never really seen it as much of a platform before. And when I was using it, it just didn't really work as well compared to when I started doing YouTube as far as the stream quality. I'm not sure why, but stream quality was a lot worse on when we were doing Twitch. Not to say that YouTube is perfect, but if you take all the faults, I was having more issues with Twitch than I was with YouTube. And it was also for monetary reasons, because the way that YouTube pays out is much better than Twitch if you're a smaller streamer. And we're still technically a smaller streamer. Or actually, I guess more so mid-range or so. But, you know, we're not, like, gigantic. And only, for the most part, I feel like Twitch only works if you're, like, a really, really huge streamer. If you're just, like, an average streamer, it's probably not the best location to be. At least in my experience, anyways. Okay, there we go. I can't believe there's a straight line that I didn't notice until just now. I think someone was mentioning that too, and I didn't see the comment. Yeah, we're doing rush method, so we're going a little bit quicker. How many packs did you say you bought? Didn't you say you got 15? That's quite a bit. Not sure if we're going to go that heavy into it. We're currently at 9. If I want to get it done today, we might need to go a little further. But we don't have to get it done today. Though I do want to try getting compensated for the sigils that we lost at least. So I'll try contacting them with that. But aside from that, if we can do it with our free battles, we probably won't be doing it today. So if we get our a little bit short, let's say like 5 sigils short, we're not going to buy another 2 packs. We'll probably just wait till tomorrow or Sunday night to get it done. What's the horde level and how many tier 7s? We're currently at 9 tier 7s. And we're at horde level 300. And by 300, I mean 200 with 50% bonus, which is effectively 300. But yeah, we're at level 200 delve. We have 50% horde bonus. And we have tier 9. So we have a billion stats right now. So in total, that's the equivalent of level 300 horde level, as well as 9 pushing things. So we have a lot of stats. That's why Truffle just tears them apart with his gigantic AoE. Yes, I did end up maxing Drifting Sands. We did that a couple days ago. I didn't do that on stream, but I did that like last week when I was like, oh yeah, this next faction is going to be Drifting Sands. We still haven't upgraded our Brown Kingdom. Let's go do it. But that's what we did last week. But yeah, we do have 50% bonus for it. And what that does is it makes our 200 horde level like a 300 horde level by increasing the amount of stats that it gives by 50%, which is effectively like a 300 horde level then at that point. There we go, we got our Dispel. Trying to be annoying with his Submerge and Barrier. Like that wasn't already enough that he had one or the other. He wanted to have both. Was he not dead? There we go. Okay, well, let's go claim that. And luckily we aren't crashing. Let's hope that maintains for the rest of the stream. Let's see, how many rooms do we currently have up to with how many we bought after the ones that we lost from crashing? I think we're up to 5 sigil lost from crashing earlier. But what does that come out to? That's what is that? Math, work, brain, go. That is 460 is what it goes to. 460. Which means we need to find 2 Vow. If we don't crash, we need to find 2 Vow Ravens between now and by the time we get all the way there, which I think is manageable. Hopefully we'll do so, and hopefully we don't crash again. But apparently since restart, it's been fine. So, oh yeah, Gems was crashing 5 times, though I think it might have been my computer, but still was crashing nonetheless. We lost 5 sigils total. We crashed 3 times. One was a Vow Raven battle. Actually, we crashed way more than 3 times, but 3 times during a battle we crashed. We crashed like a total of 6 or 7 times. The rest were out of battle, so it didn't matter as much. Let's see, we'll throw that down. Yeah, I'm gonna send a support ticket to try to get some amount back. I didn't when we ended up having that weird glitch where that one thing wasn't working properly last delve. But given that we wasted gems this time around, I do actually want to send a support ticket. See if we can get 200 or 400 gems back or something. Because I had to waste more gems than I normally would have because of it. That's not too big a deal. We still have a pretty solid like 18 or so thousand gems. Let's see. Go through a double. What do we need here? We'll take a green right down over there. Grab our truffle. Get our doubling of the green. I love how quick this goes with this many potion effects. This, I believe, is actually the highest stats I've ever ran a delve with. This is the first time we've ever had a level 300 faction. It's level 200, but you know, it's boosted to 300, so it's technically 300. And we have 9 potion effects. I think we might have ran with slightly more potion effects before, but due to the fact that we're at level 300 horde level, technically, I believe our overall stats right now is the highest it's ever been due to that reason. So, yeah, hopefully we'll have a really easy pure faction, because this pure faction is not fun. It's probably one of the more annoying ones. It's not the hardest in the game, but it's definitely one of the more annoying pure factions in the game, to say the least. You're running Mang, Tulio, 2 Queen Jezebels. Oh yeah, Queen Jezebel loop. Or well, it's not really a loop, but yeah, that was used quite a bit in the past. I don't feel like it's used that much these days, but it does still work if you have all the composition. But yeah, you do. Oh, well, I guess Tulio's a new addition to it. Normally in the past you used to use a different mana generator, but yeah, you can Tulio on green. Get your Queen Jezebels up, cast, and obviously use the boost ratio off of Mang, so Queen Jezebels do a lot of damage. So that you one-shot not off of every single skull off of Mang, but you also one-shot off of every Queen Jezebel cast. I'm not sure how its speed is, which is one of the biggest concerns that it normally has, and one of the reasons I feel like it doesn't get used much these days is, well, it's fun to use. It's a really fun team to use if you have never tried it before, but it's, I believe it's towards the slower side compared to other options, especially since it normally taps one at a time, and one of its taps don't even kill, like the initial Mang. And even a Mang isn't necessarily enough to kill. If you Mang into Queen Jezebel, that's not necessarily enough to already kill. So it has a lot of caveats to it, but it's definitely fun to use. It definitely has the fun factor to it. I'm just not sure if it's viable from a speed perspective, though. If you're going to be doing it like for the entirety of the delve, I would not advise. For some amount of time, obviously, it'd work perfectly fine, though. So we'll throw that down for now. Because at minimum, for that team to work, you have to cast 5 times. And depending on the stat discrepancy, you actually have to do it more than 5 times. Because at minimum, you have to do Mang, then Queen Jezebel 4 times. But that's not always enough to kill, depending on what the stats are like. I will double the green, hope it lands. Grab a truffle. Also, we will be handing out another redeem code. We already handed out one earlier when we hit 150 viewers. Also, we hit 150 viewers earlier. But we handed out one earlier. And then we'll hand out another one. I'm not sure at what point. Maybe once we reach 400 or 300? Somewhere around there. Somewhere around the 300s. We'll probably hand out the other code. Which we should get to pretty quickly, given that we're running Rush Method with a ridiculous amount of stats this entire time. Oh. Yeah, Queen Jezebel casting multiple times will feed up your entire team to full mana, and hopefully it'll be enough to feed up Tulio. It is possible that you get unlucky and it doesn't fill up Tulio, but yeah, 2 casts will normally be enough to fill Tulio to full mana. Crash just stopped us from reaching 500 viewers. I don't think we're ever going to hit 500 viewers. Not even the developer streams when they were going over like the biggest of content have ever hit that many. I think the biggest developer stream for Gems of War, which is the biggest Gems of War stream ever, was around the low 300s. And the highest I ever done was like mid 200s. I forget exactly when it was, but it was like, I believe 220, 230? I forget the exact number. But it was like low to mid 200s. Was the highest I ever did for a Gems of War stream. And it was right after one of the patches, which is generally when we have our absolute biggest streams. Obviously, we get a pretty big amount of viewers for whenever new content comes into the game. But when something really big happens, like a really, really major patch, that tends to go pretty high. Like 5.0 might be our biggest stream we ever have, if we ever have a 5.0 stream. Well, obviously we'll be having a 5.0 stream. But if that adds a lot of content, we'll have a lot to go over on that stream. And that might be the highest viewer count. 5.0 is happening this summer, most likely. However, due to coronavirus, it might be pushed back. But the original plan was for them to roll it out sometime during summer of this year. We're likely getting a 4.9 patch as our next patch, and then 5.0 sometime this summer. Oh, thank you for that, Zeddicus. It's greatly appreciated. Yeah, I really need to get back to covering more guide videos. They help a lot for YouTube exposure. Just streaming doesn't necessarily give you as much exposure. It can. Like, obviously, a lot of people found us from Animal Crossing. That wouldn't have ever found us from doing Gems of War content and stuff like that. But, doing guide videos are normally the best way. They're a lot harder to make than normal just streams or other videos, though. Because they require a lot of research and a lot of setup. If I cover any guide for Animal Crossing, it's likely going to be a miles farming guide. Because if I'm knowledgeable about anything, that is like the thing I'm most knowledgeable about in this game. It's also a newer feature, and given that I haven't played Animal Crossing and don't know some of the old meta for some things, which remained mostly consistent in this game, that's one of the newer things that a lot of people would have, just been starting up on. So we'll probably cover a guide on that at some point. Maybe even this weekend. Like, something like that, if done right, could get like 100,000 views or something. Let's see. We'll take that for now. Yeah, every single one of our subscribers might not be active. YouTube does purges occasionally, but it's normally more so of bots. Just because we have 13,000 subscribers doesn't mean we have 13,000 active people watching the channel. Though it is probably several thousand. Okay. Oh, what do we grab here? We'll take a thing over there. Grab a truffle. Just out of curiosity, what type of music are you into? Pretty much all of them. Except for maybe country. But pretty much any music. I don't really have too much of a particular preference. Yeah, I like classical. Classical is pretty cool. Another one down. Many more to go. Watch, we're going to be like one sigil short of getting to pure faction to stream. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. What do we even take here? We'll grab that over. Favorite composers? I am really bad with names, to the point that I can't even name a single one. I am excessively bad with names. Hello, Crazy Casey. Welcome. Did you do a stream of the Explorer revamp? You mean the one that happened several months ago? Yeah, we've covered a stream on it at some point and covered content on it. The best way to do it is to run with... That happened in October, if I'm not mistaken. But the best way to run it currently, if you're looking for the meta, is to go do, if you happen to have it, is run Mountain Crusher as Titan hero class, Scorpius, Leprechaun, and Yali. It can quick kill or Skea Kingdom at levels 12 Explorer very, very quickly. Quicker than any other team in the entire game of which I am aware of. So if you're looking to farm the new Explorer with tokens, that gives about 300,000 to 350,000 gold per hour, which is not the highest rate in the game, but it's still pretty high. And it also gives you the best rate in the game for tokens. Which tokens being, of course, the main reason you do it. How do you add music to the music boxes in Animal Crossing? You go to your shop. If you go to your Nook shop in your tent, or your town hall, since you have a town hall now, go over to the machine where you get the Nook mile tickets and everything. Under that machine, go under the Nook shopping thing, and under the shopping, where you pay with bells for things, all the way at the bottom, there's a music track every single day that you can order, and it's a different one every single day. You might get a repeat one, so make sure it's not a repeat. But you basically just buy tracks from there. You can get one per day. And then you basically just put that item into a music-related item in Animal Crossing. And then whenever you go into that room, it'll play that music. And you can set a different one per every room. I don't think you can have multiple playing in the same room. But you can set one per room. So every single room in your house can have a different thing playing. Assuming you have the track for it. Though you would need multiple of the same track if you want it playing in every room. So if you have like 4 rooms and you want it playing in every room, you would need 4 of that item. Unfortunately, there's no way to hear it prior to buying it, though. It's probably all uploaded on YouTube somewhere as the full soundtrack. But you cannot actually hear it prior to buying them in-game itself. Animal Crossing has pretty good music. It's pretty chill. One really nice feature once you finally have a town hall in Animal Crossing. Yeah, video game music in general tends to be pretty nice for most games. But probably one of my favorite genre is gaming music. But what was I just saying? But yeah, the music actually starts changing every hour once you have a town hall in Animal Crossing. Not sure if you noticed that, but I noticed it. I knew it was a thing, but I didn't really fully notice it until last night. While I was just kind of idling before going to bed, because it was like changing, and it was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool, because it became even chiller during the night. Some interesting tracks. But yeah, it changes every hour. Let's see. Plus all the other audio that's in the game. Mostly KK songs. Oh yeah, boss theme music and character theme music tend to be some of the best musics in most games. Ones that are like really specifically made for a specific character. Oh, you have a little TV in Animal Crossing? I don't even have a little TV yet. I haven't even found any, let alone like a bigger one. We are TV-less. Yeah, I didn't get to play it all yet this morning. I didn't have time. I might a little bit before the streams and recording the video. I have a few other things I need to get done today, so I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be able to get much playing in. But we'll be streaming it tomorrow for the normal amount of time. Because I want to get some things done today, so I don't need to do it this weekend. There we go. Okay, we're at 240. I guess we'll hand out the code at 300. We'll hand it out at 300. And then we'll keep going. How many more Vow Ravens do we need? We still need to find 2 more if we want to get all the way to full completion this stream. Otherwise, we'll have to do it tomorrow night. But if anyone's done Pure Faction yet, what team did you specifically use? Someone was suggesting 4 of the Legend. I was considering 2 of the Tank into 2 of the Legend. Whatever you're going to use, it's definitely going to be Legend and Tank based. But Curious if anyone who has actually completed it, what you used for it. If anyone has yet. It's still pretty early in the day. I'm pretty sure some amount of people have it done already. Especially with time zones. The event has theoretically been out for almost 10 hours now. So some amount of people already got it done. Let's see. There's a few dozen. And that's just on PC mobile version. Obviously other versions might already have it done as well. A few more than that. Have you tried to use the new troop instead of Gobtruffle? Oh no, it wouldn't work. It'd be too inconsistent. It doesn't have full AoE, so it gets a lot less value from the magic. But no, the new troop wouldn't work in this format. Like, it would function, but it wouldn't be nearly as strong. Not even close. There we go. Let's see. I'll take that for now. Grab all that. Also, that reminds me, Zeddicus. I still need to see your town. I've never gotten to see it yet. We'll need to do that sometime. Maybe even today, so I could do it off stream if you don't want to have it shown on stream. Because I'd love to see what it looks like. Okay, what do we need? Let's see. We'll grab, take a blue for now. Grab a brown over there. Get a double of the greens. Okay, cool. We'll do that then. No, we're kind of at the halfway mark. 250 is not actually halfway. 300 is theoretically halfway or so. And the main reason for that is due to the stats increasing, making battles take longer. So how much damage we have is not taking that much longer. But still longer nonetheless. But we have enough stats, that's not too big a deal. If anyone still has any other questions, do let me know. We'll be here for a while. Faction related or otherwise. Okay, let's see. We'll grab a blue right over there. You're still doing every room for the hope of ravens. Yeah, I'm kind of skipping on that for now. We could be. And I would have earlier, but we were crashing at the time. And if we would have had enough enough Val Ravens. But I'm just kind of hoping we get it now. Within 20 battles, we're kind of just banking on finding 2 Val Ravens. Which could happen. And I hope it happens. Otherwise, we will be ever so slightly short. Worst comes to worst, I could always throw another pack. Or we could just do it tomorrow night. It's not that big a deal if we do it tomorrow night. But I kind of wanted to see if we could get it all done in one stream. But then again, I guess technically 2 streams since it got divided. Haha. But we might just do it tomorrow then. If we're only like 1 battle off or something. Or a few. Like within a range of a single day. We'll probably just do it tomorrow night. and then cover the video later today. Also, the teams that we're using right now should be pinned. By the teams I'm using, I mean the team I'm currently using. I did show 2 other ones, though. The Rowan team for upscaling, and the, what was the other one? The Pure Faction. Or at least what I think will be Pure Faction. Obviously, we haven't actually messed with Pure Faction yet. But based on the troops, I assume it's double tank into double legends. There's a possibility you could get away with 1 tank into 3 legend, though. That's because of how tanky the tank is. Because not only does it have armor gain, it has barrier and 50% reduction as well. Which is a lot of things to tank with. But as I mentioned, we'll hand out code once we reach 300. Delve 300, that is. What do we grab here? We'll take that over. Go to the thing. We'll take some browns. We'll grab ourselves a... Well, we're going to have full mana anyways, but I don't really have a different move, so let's grab that. Hope that doesn't miss. With 14, it should land, and it does. Usually gets to double with an extra 3, which is more often not going to help it land every single time. As long as there's like 10 or more. With 17, it definitely will. And he's dead. Very much so. Also, I like how I haven't casted Doomglaive like a single time, pretty much. You generally don't need it. I just have it there because it's a nice cleanup option. It also gets to replenish Greenstorm, so even if you're using a different hero class, you can still do Greenstorm with it. But, yeah, it's not a necessity. That is helpful. And one of the more optimal weapons if you're doing this team. That's definitely not required to make the team work. Like 99% of these battles, we're not even casting it. Ooh, that's a miss. That's a big miss. May recommend one Beetle Blade for the Song of Dust and high single target damage against Submerge. He does have triple damage against them. My biggest concern with using it is we'd kill the 2 that are brown, and then the more intimidating ones that aren't brown would survive and kill us. That was my only concern with using the Beetle. It would rush down the browns, but it wouldn't hit the Queen, which is my biggest concern. And the Queen's going to be the biggest threat in that battle. Well, then again, with how many stats we have, it might not be. But generally, I feel like she'd be the biggest threat. Too bad it doesn't have mana drain. That would actually be a good way to keep her down. Oh, what do we need here? We'll take that for now. That'll be full mana the following turn. We'll do that. It's double. Also, we still have higher stats than them. Even though we're halfway through the delves. It's insane. There we go. I have nothing else. Those 100 gems we've been getting those last few days are all stacking up so we could use them for this event. Hey, Valraven. That's 1 of the 2 we needed. I believe we only need 1 more. We might actually still need 2 more, but definitely need at least 1 more. Because I believe 1 more is exactly 500, which means we'd have to do both Pure Faction and Deathless simultaneously. But if we get 2 more Valravens after this Valraven, I believe we'll have excess. So that we don't have to do both simultaneously, which is generally hard to do. You're doing Scare, Beetle, 2 times Queen. Yeah, that would work, and it would give you more stats too. Either way seems like it'll work, but I'll probably try double Beetle or double tank first. And then if that doesn't work, we'll probably go 1 and 1. And use the triple damage to Brown with the Beetle tank with this double of the legend. Regardless, double legend is pretty much required for doing this delve. Because that's where your primary damage comes from. But yeah, you know what? I guess the Beetle kind of would be good, or the thing that does triple, because you can kill a Brown, and then the split damage of the Queen will work better after you've killed the Brown of the opposing team. I'd have to see how much stats we have compared to the enemy. If we can two-shot with the Brown troop, it might be worth using. If it takes more than 2 shots, I don't think we'll do it. But if we can two-shot the enemy with a Beetle, or even one-shot somehow, I'm not sure if we'll have enough damage for that, probably not. But if we can two-shot it, it might be worth it. If it takes 3-shot, we probably won't. Let's see. See ya, Daniel. Your pizza joint only has curbside pickup now. I haven't been eating out at all. I've been too scared of contamination, just in case. Though pizza does sound good right about now. But I've still been hesitant to order from anywheres due to virus. When will I play Gems of War on Nintendo? We haven't been, mostly because the Nintendo Switch version is really behind and it doesn't have cross-platform. While we will be doing a lot of Nintendo stuff here and there, Gems of War, oddly enough, even though it's the main thing we do on the channel, is not something I will be doing on specifically the Switch version. Mostly because it's very far dated compared to every other version. And also because, which isn't too big a deal if that's the only version you're playing. But if you're playing different versions, and you know, if I'm like streaming content, it would be slightly problematic. Because most players, like 90% of the player base, would be on different events and everything compared to Switch. But yeah, I don't play the Switch version of Gems of War anymore. What weapon is that? It's Doomed Glaive. It's not required, though. We haven't cast that, I don't think, a single time. It's just there for cleanup. It's by no means required, though. You just use a cleanse option, or mana accumulation option, or even just the Essence of Evil or something. With this many stats, we don't even need anything other than Farce Troll and the Double Truffle. That is our team. Hero's kind of just there for the Green Storm. Yeah, I don't think Switch version has 4.8 yet, which was the most recent patch. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Why Warden? Warden has a unique combination that is unique only to this hero class. It's very rarely good, but this is one team where it's actually worth using. And it is Greenstorm plus Dispel. It is the only hero class in the game that starts with Greenstorm that also has Dispel, the enemy. And that's the reason why we're doing it. That combination of aspects, which is very, very powerful running this team. We need Dispel because we need to get rid of Submerge. And we need Greenstorm so we can loop better at the start of battle. Oh, wait, it's determined by 13 or more brown? Oh, I completely misread that ability then. Did I really misread it that wrong? Interesting. So he can actually triple damage everything. Oh, I'll probably use the Beetle then. I thought that was based on brown only. If it can potentially triple damage everything, that's actually worth it. Because not only can we deny the enemy when we don't want it casting, but we can also up ourselves when we do want to cast. My bad. I definitely misread that earlier then when I was reading it. Could have sworn it was based on if they were brown. Loading, loading, loading. Maybe I'm just thinking of what it was prior to them tweaking it. Maybe they tweaked it, and I'm just thinking of the previous one rather than what it currently is. Yeah, I could have sworn it was specifically to brown. It might have been changed within the last few weeks, and I was just recalling what it was when I read it in the past. But even when I read it earlier, I still thought that. Let's see. We'll take that over. Do I have the Plague Lord weapon? Yes. It would work really good with this team. Actually, when I show it for the video, I might even just show it with it instead of Doomed Glaive. Just because Doomed Glaive is a little bit harder to copy-paste since a lot of people don't have it. A lot more people have the Plague Lord weapon. And if you don't, it's advised to get. It's actually one of the better weapons in the game that you get from a hero. Class wins. You just need to get You just have to complete out Darkstone. You get the hero class from Darkstone. Get 250 wins on the hero class of Plague Lord, and then you get the weapon for free. And it's kind of like Mountain Crusher, but with a big disable. It's not as much mana accumulation, but it's really good at upscaling because it basically completely disables a troop. You don't use it in any kind of game mode that has Indestructible, but any game mode like Delves, where it upscales, but you don't have to deal with immunities like that, is where it ends up shining best. It's also good for PvP and stuff like that. There we go, and he's dead. Oh yeah, sure, we can show it with Essence. Though the playstyle is not really going to change much because we don't really change, or we don't really cast the weapon that often. But yeah, we can do it with Essence. There we go. I'll need it like that when I copy paste it anyway, so I might as well keep it like this. Because when we show it for a video, I'll probably just show it with Essence. Doomed Glaive is technically better, but Essence is way easier to obtain. But most of these battles aren't going to go any different. Like if one of them are about to cast, we can go do Essence to try to disable it. But the playstyle is obviously going to be the same. We pretty much just ignore we even have a weapon and just do the truffle loop. The hero is more so there for its traits than any other aspect. It's just there for Greenstorm and it's there for Dispel. And it's also there for Entangle. It does get Entangle at the start of battle, which helps you not die. You also get to redo Entangle with Forest Troll every time it takes a skull, if you happen to need more Entangle. But you get to start with one and you can refresh it. So as you can see, he's already entangled, which means he can't even entangle us back, since you can't do on-skull effects if he hits 0. So if he was to hit a 0, even though he has on-skull entangle, he will not actually apply it unless he does at least 1 damage. So if he takes it 4 times or 5 times while he's entangled, he'll get an entangle onto us. But if he does 0 damage to us while he's entangled, we will not get entangled on hit. You have to do at least 1 damage for it to count. And that applies to every on-skull effect in the game, like Death Mark or Freeze or Burn or anything on skull. You have to do at least 1 damage for them to trigger. If they dodge it with Agile or something, it will not count because it did 0 damage. And that also applies if they're entangled to 0. But even just a 4 times or 5 times would ruin that. Like that 4 times right there would have entangled, even if we had 0 attack, because it actually did 1 damage, not 0. He's taking 4 gives 1 additional damage, and taking 5 gives 2 additional damage, which is pretty irrelevant, the amount of skull extra damage. But any amount of extra skull damage will allow you to do that, which is nice. I believe you could also do the same with Doom Skulls. So if you take like a 3 pair of Doom Skulls, I'm pretty sure the 5 damage from the Doom Skull also triggers to allow you to do on-skull effect, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. And I'll take the skull when he's dead. Okay, I said I would hand out a code once we finish out 300. That is completing out 300. So let me go hand out another code. One moment. Let me just go into our shiny code section. Get out a code. Let's see. Where to go? Grab this code right here. Copy, copy, paste, paste, and there you guys go. Oh, wait. Whoa. I used that one already? Oh, yeah, duh. That was literally the one I just gave out earlier to stream. Because we gave out 2 to stream, not 1. So let me grab that. There we go. I was trying to hand out the one we already gave out earlier this morning. But here you guys go. Use this on gemsofwar.com with the game code section. Enjoy, everyone. Your invite code can be found underneath the bottom left corner of your settings, whatever game says right over here. In this menu right there. Let me go grab my tribute real quick. But as far as the thing itself, it gives the same reward as always, which is buried underneath all these mail, because for whatever reason they don't collapse them all into one. They're all separate. That's a nice quality of life thing they need to go do. Condense them all. Kind of like how they did with some guild task things. But anyways, redeem code gives the same thing as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. and use the code right over there, that link. Enjoy, everyone. And it's only usable on PC mobile version, of course, with the main loop being the 1 gem key that it has, and more treasure maps to go into your infinite pile of treasure maps. But for newer players, treasure maps are actually pretty useful, since you don't have infinite maps yet. Which, how many maps do we have right now? We have 20,646 maps. Gosh, that's a lot of maps. Okay, anyways, where were we? Let's keep going. Let's see, how many more Val Ravens do we need? We need, at minimum, it looks like 2, actually. 1 will get us exactly there. However, we would need an additional 1 to also do Pure Faction. Also, this might be the first time ever where I do Pure Faction prior to doing Deathless. Try doing them simultaneously. But more so just to do Pure Faction first. Because if we do get 1 more Valraven, but we don't get more sigils than 1 more Valraven, for our 500th battle, I'm going to do Pure Faction first. Which will be the first time ever I bother doing Pure Faction first. And who knows, maybe we'll get lucky enough to actually do Deathless. And we have done it before, but we've never done both of them simultaneously without doing Deathless first. Normally I would do Deathless, and then I would go do the Pure Faction. And sometimes the Pure Faction would go Deathless, but it's very rare. But we'll see if we can do it for this faction. It's probably possible with how many stats we have. Especially with how tanky the first slot is. It might actually be possible to Deathless it. Generally, you don't want to combine them together, because it makes doing Pure Faction even harder. But you can try doing both. But yeah, no problem for the code, everyone. Enjoy. And if anyone still has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, rest of this stream will be grinding towards Pure Faction. And hopefully, if we get Valraven's fall right, we'll be able to get it as well this stream. And then we'll be done with it. I definitely feel free to leave a like. The stream got divided into 2 streams too, so the likes are probably pretty low. That tends to happen when it gets split. I really wish YouTube had a better way of preserving the stream when it like disconnects like that. It's always annoying when it gets divided to 2. Happened yesterday, but by different means as well. Let's see, we'll grab that. The biggest issue with YouTube's streaming, I feel like more so than anything, is if your stream, let's say, crashes or you go down for whatever reason for a little bit and you start back up again, it does not start streaming to the page that you were previously on. So if someone clicks to this video right now, the stream that we're doing, and the stream goes down, if I start another stream, the stream will not automatically start for them. It'll just have the playback of the video that they were just looking at. Basically saves it as a completely separate video, but it's not actually a streaming page like some other streaming platforms. It's just the video itself as a stream video thing. So it doesn't actually redirect you to the next stream. Like, they need a better format to... they can still keep it like that, but they need like some way that if a stream goes down and someone's still on that previous page, to redirect them to the new stream page. Currently, YouTube is really bad at doing that. Like, excessively bad compared to any other streaming platform. Hopefully, they'll do something eventually to fix it a bit. Like, even on other streaming platforms, the stream does get divided into 2 videos. But the biggest issue with YouTube is it doesn't redirect you immediately to the next stream. It just leaves you on the previous stream's video output. What tasks are there to complete level 19 Delve Sands? The same as every other kingdom that requires level 19. What it exactly is, I don't know off the top of my head. I'll go check as soon as we finish this battle. Okay, let me go check. Yeah, I don't recall. I believe it requires level 70 or 80 hero class, as well as some amount of troops having something, as well as one other thing. But here's the full list. It is 3 Drifting Sands pets, which don't even exist yet. We still need another pet. Oh wait, never mind. Wait. Does it not exist? Hold up. That's a lie. It says it's not available yet. It is available. There's 3 pets. 1, 2. And wait, why is it not showing under unowned? That's weird. Why is it not showing? But there is a 3rd pet. I'm not sure why it's not showing. The 3rd pet is this thing. Did they forget to add a pet or something? Or is it not registered for whatever reason? The 3rd pet is this thing right over here. The Minisquito. It's Deep Hive. Oh, I guess it doesn't count underneath the thing. But this pet does count as a Drifting Sands pet. This mosquito. But yeah, there is 3 Drifting Sands pets. I'm not sure why it's showing like that. But anyways, but yeah, you need the pet, 3 pets. The 3rd one will be able to get from Pure Faction. Well, you don't even need to do Pure Faction. Just getting to 2,000 renown will do it, which actually requires 0 Pure Faction if you did everything else. Reach champion level 80 on Dervish, which I actually don't even have yet, though it's possible. But this one's impossible, which prevents us from doing it. We would need another Drifting Sands troops added to the game, specifically at level 20. And you would need 2 more troops to get to 20. Or, you know, star level 20. But anyways, let's head back over. Alright, let's keep going. Still need to find those Valravens. The new pet is bugged. It belongs to the Deep Hive instead of Drifting Sands. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, it's supposed to be Drifting Sands pet. It should count as both. It's a Hive pet and a Drifting Sands pet. But they made it so they would count towards the kingdom. Yeah, that's a little bit weird if it's bugged like that. How the bug is bugged. Are they aware of that bug? Has it been reported on the forum yet? It's not immediately bad, but if Drifting Sands ever gets even 1 more troop and that bug is still in place, that's going to be problematic because that's supposed to count as a pet. And level 19 star does require it to count as a pet. So you need to make it count as a pet like it does with every other kingdom. Yeah, they didn't label it with both. They just labeled it with Deep Hive, but they forgot to label it with Drifting Sands. And every single pet has overlap to its, or every single faction pet has overlap to the kingdom that's associated to. That happened as of about a year ago. And there was a pretty nice change that was added to them. It also made doing level 500 Pure Faction a lot more enticing because it was required for star levels. In that instance, you don't need to be level 20, of course. You just need to own it, but still. But yeah, the bug is bugged. That's pretty funny. The bug is quite literally bugged. Okay, there we go. Come on, where's our 2 Valravens? We still need 2 more. Show yourselves. Let's see. Take that for now. You did 4 times Queen Bee for Pure Faction. It was easy peasy as long as you avoid Submerge. Okay. I could give it a shot that way. I still feel like I want at least 1 tank though. What do I think of the new troop? It's not bad. I don't feel like it's going to be meta, though, due to its high inconsistency. But it's not bad at all. It has 4 times cleanse. It has a lot of similarities to that of Truffle. The biggest issue that it has is its extremely high inconsistency. And for that reason, I don't feel like it's going to be used much. Just because, obviously, in most situations, you want to go for consistency rather than something that's a bit random like that. But it can get some pretty good value for its cast when it does trigger its effects. I didn't even pay attention. What is the block format for this delve? We've seen like a billion battles already. Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention to what it looks like. I assume they made like a little bit of a honeycomb shape or something. So maybe like a star kind of, like, you know, diagonals when it starts. Or maybe they did 2, 2, 1, 1 and made it like 2 at top, 2 bottom, 1 on both sides or something. Let me see. I haven't been paying attention at all. What did they do for the blocks? They did it in that's weird. I'm expecting like a honeycomb with a lot more than that. They only did 4. 1, 2, 1. What's that supposed to be a shape of? I'm not even sure. They missed a perfect opportunity to make a honeycomb shape. What if you use Steel Attack, example Wild Queen, on Entangled Enemy, you gain 0 attack? You cannot a troop that is entangled or webbed cannot gain that respective stat, but nor can they lose that respective stat. So for example, let's say you have a troop, it is entangled. If you try attack stealing it, you will get 0 attack, even if they have a base attack value. And if they try to gain attack, they will gain 0 attack. So yeah, it basically prevents any loss of attack, either down or up. Like in either direction, it prevents it. So they can't get attack gain, but you also can't steal it. So for example, if you're in a situation where you're trying to steal something's attack, and let's say they have 50 base attack and they're entangled, if you try stealing their attack, let's say 30 attack, you will get 0 attack stolen. And then when they get unentangled, they will have the full 50 attack. They will not have their attack reduced because you didn't actually reduce it at all. But you have to be careful with that. Attack steal with a tangle, while they are synergized with each other occasionally, do be mindful that you cannot attack steal from 0. Even if that is an entangle 0, it will not reduce their attack. And they get all their attack back once they get unentangled. It'll be whatever it was when they were entangled. So regardless of how much they try losing or gaining while they're entangled, it'll come back to be the same amount after. So if they went into entangle with 30 attack and they come back out, they'll have 30 attack, regardless of how many attack gains or attack reductions try to be applied to the troop. Same thing applies to magic with web. When you're webbed, you cannot gain or lose magic, and it works the same way as entangle, but with magic instead of attack. So if something gains a lot of magic, you can technically hard counter it by webbing the entire enemy team, which prevents it from gaining magic or using its magic. Both would be blocked by web for its duration. And similar to that, like with an entangle, if they tried gaining, like let's say they had 20 magic and they tried gaining 50 magic, when they're unwebbed, they will only have 20 magic. They will not have 70 because they're not allowed to gain it during the duration of the web. But that's how that mechanic works. It's not really explained anywhere in game. You kind of just have to just look at it and see. It was explained at one point in like a patch note, I believe. But nowhere in the game itself does it really explain that mechanic. But it is a thing. Oh. Hello, Chad. Welcome. Is it worth using Orbs of Ascension on Guardians to get them out of Guild Key drop table? Yes. I only do it when they're up to Legendary, though, unless you have 6 major blues. I would advise getting Zugaf instead, though. But if you're not planning on getting Zugaf, yes, that's basically what I did. I had 5 major blues and like 1 small blue. So what I did is I used 5 major blues when they were originally released. to get the maxed. And on the last one, I got it up to legendary, and then used a small blue to get it to mythic. But yes, you need 4 copies of each of them to mythic. Whenever you get any one of them to 4 copies of mythic, you will stop getting copies of it. So if you do that to all of them, you'll get basically a key that is worth more than a gem key. It has a higher rate of mythics than a gem key once you finally get to that point. But yeah, you basically once you've gotten every single guardian troop, the value of a seal key is worth slightly more than a gem key, which is pretty nice because it has a 0.1% or sorry, 0.01% higher chance of giving a mythic, and it also has oh, that's the main thing that makes it different. Most of the other drops are about the same. But yeah, it takes a while to get to that point, but it's worth considering. I wouldn't overly extend resources, and I would advise eventually getting a Zugoff. But if you really had absolutely zero intention of ever doing it, I guess you could. But do be mindful that you probably want to get him eventually. Obviously, I know he takes like a forever amount of time, but if you're going for 100% full completion, it's going to be required eventually. And the sooner you start, the less time it'll feel like to have to grind. Yeah, he can take like a year or 2 to grind normally, sometimes even longer depending on how active you are. But he generally takes about a year or 2 to obtain. And that's with trying to actively obtain him as well. Unless you have absurd amount of gems to throw at events, which most people don't. I still have yet to actually get a major orb naturally on this account. All of them were just crafted out of smaller blues. And major blues, of course. I have gotten 3 on my Switch account, though. But that's just because they were a lot easier, because the player base wasn't as big at the time. Because it was around the time when the game first started. There we go. Yeah, no problem. If anyone else has any other questions, do let me know. And we'll make sure to go over them. Come on, where's our Val Ravens? We still need more. Looks like we're going to have to do Pure Faction tomorrow, unfortunately. Unless we want to waste 200 gems today. Which, well, how many gems we already wasted, I'm kind of hesitant on. I still need to contact the devs to see if I can get that situated. Do I still play on Switch? The Gems of War version on Switch? No. I do not play the Gems of War version on Switch. I play things on Switch still. Like, obviously, we've been doing a lot of Animal Crossing lately. Like, a lot of Animal Crossing. But do I actually play the Switch version of Gems of War? No. And the main reason for that is because it's way, way behind on updates. It's like 9 months behind compared to any other version of the game. Where are those Vow Ravens? Yeah, at this point, it looks like we might just have to do Pure Faction tomorrow. Due to the battles that got glitched. It's not that big a deal, though. We get another 3 tomorrow and another 3 on Sunday. So we'll easily have way more than enough at that point. But it's still technically possible that we get lucky with 2 Vow Ravens. That's very unlikely. But possible. You started saving for a full a few weeks ago, and you're already up to 2 Orbs of Power. Congrats. Very nice. Very, very nice. I feel like the last few feel like they take the longest. I think it took me a little bit longer just because I kept using my blues in really weird ways, because I would upgrade almost everything immediately. So I was using a lot more blues than a normal person probably would, because we were showing a lot of things for videos to get them upgraded. Like, for example, the event key things, which we could have just threw event keys for rather than using the blue orb for. And every single raid and evasion troop I threw it on, which technically you don't have to do. And you could get Zugoff quite a bit quicker if you didn't do that every single week. Or every single month, I mean. And now that they're in the drop table, you really don't ever need to throw small blues on raid or invasion troops anymore. because they're going to start repeating, and at that point you won't really need to bother with it, because we're starting to get repeats, and that means they're already in the drop table, meaning you could just get them from keys, and that you might have already gotten them in the past from keys, unlike before where you had to have bought up the event, but now you don't need to. Yeah, one interesting thing about the new format that they're kind of doing with this new World Lore event, that they're going to be just kind of starting to spam a lot soon as it starts replacing out other events and making them into weekend events, is we are going to start having a lot less small blue orbs to spend. Small blue orbs aren't going to be as needed for actually using on things very soon. And the main reason for that is we might not be getting as much new content that actually requires small blue. We'd be getting a very small amount of new legendaries in event key drop table, which is one thing that occasionally uses small blues. We don't get any new raid or invasion troops, which is probably the biggest thing that was eating my small blues, because I was 2 a month every single month. But now we won't be needing to do that very soon. And yeah, like a lot of the things that we would like spend them on very commonly don't necessarily need to be done anymore into the near future, or even now. Like, for example, I believe we don't get any more new invasion troops. I think it already covers every typing, or almost every typing, so we won't have to do it for that. But kind of interesting, because now the blue orb economy will actually be able to, you know, you'll be able to accumulate more than you would have kind of been able to, because you don't have to waste as many as you may have in the past in order to save gems. Then the scoring for the new event changes week by week. They just need to find a way to scale it a bit more consistently than what they did last time, because that scaling was pretty bad. The scaling that they did for the most recent event, for the World Lore event. We do have to keep in mind the way that the game mode is scored will be drastically different each time. Like, we will not be collecting skulls in order to get all of our points next time. It'll be some kind of completely different mechanic. What specifically, I don't think we know currently. Well, we'll probably know the Monday before the event. Or sorry, yeah, maybe the Monday before the event. I'm not sure if they're going to go over the whole week in advance. Possibly not. I'm not sure. But anyways, let's keep going. So yeah, I think that's how we're going to divvy it up then. So I think what we're going to do is, for this stream, we're going to finish out by going to 400. Tonight, we will finish every last sigil we have. And then tomorrow, we will go do Pure Faction tomorrow night. And do keep in mind, we do not have a Gems of War stream tomorrow morning. So I think that's how we're going to go and do this right now. Sounds like a game plan. Just so that tonight we'll have some delves to do as well. Because I want to save at least some amount of sigils for them. For anyone who can't make it for our morning afternoon stream. That sounds exactly like what we'll do. That should work out perfectly. So basically, stream schedule is, or just general schedule as far as what will be posted specifically to this channel. As far as content, will be, we'll do delves right now to 400. We'll have a video going over this faction, hopefully up before tonight. A few other things I need to do, but that should hopefully be up before tonight's stream. Then tonight's stream will finish out every last sigil we currently have. And then tomorrow night, we will be doing the rest of them. And tomorrow morning, I'll be doing Animal Crossing, like we've been. But yeah, tomorrow night, we'll finish out Pure Faction then, it would seem. We would have been able to finish it today if it wasn't for that glitch earlier. I will be contacting support to see what they can do for us, gem-wise. Because the sigils at this point would be pointless. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. See what they say. Hopefully I can get the 400 reimbursed, which we had to waste. But probably not, but we'll see. It's worth a shot. Doesn't hurt to ask. Okay, here's an instance where I actually would want to use Doomed Glaive. I'm currently using Essence, just because it's cheaper for showing people. But, yeah, that would have been a perfect Doomed Glaive moment. Would have killed him. I'm so used to having it there. It's very rarely used, but it's used in those kind of occasions for cleanup. Ah, there we go. So, 3 more devils to go after this battle then. Alright, we'll take that for now. Get our double. Get ourselves another truffle there. Gosh, our stats are starting to get high. Luckily, so is our damage. Still hitting 130s. Which is a really substantially high amount. For a full AoE. What is that total? That's That's math. 520. That's 520 total damage. Oh, you're not dead. There we go. Treasure chest would be an interesting one to farm for points. Yeah, they'll have a lot of creative ones for it, hopefully. I wouldn't be surprised if Blackhawk has some kind of treasure chest kind of mechanic. And it might not always be based on collecting something, too. It can be based on, like, certain number of kills. It could be based on how much damage, almost like how raids is scored, and stuff like that. There's a lot of different things that they can do for it. And they might even add more methods into the future. But we already know they have it coded, so it can do quite a few already. So that they can basically change it up to give it a lot more diversity than how events currently are. There we go. Hey, we got a treasure map. We need those. Ha 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 ha. Put in our pile of over 20,000. Got way too many. Way too many. Yeah, my guild actually didn't end up finishing it. We got like halfway through the final tier. We were an entire person down though. And no one went for leaderboard. If you had one person farming a lot, the way that is scaled, you could actually gotten it done pretty easily. If you had even one person in your guild even attempt leaderboard. Because it gave a lot more reward if you had a single person grinding a lot rather than a lot of people grinding a little. There's actually a weird event in that how it's scaled. You could quite literally have just a few people in your guild carry the entire guild without the rest of them doing any. And your guild would actually net use less gems, and you would gain more loot. It was an interesting strategy that could have been done. I don't think most guilds did that, but there might have been a few that did. But theoretically, the best way to have gotten the previous event done would have been to have 3 people in your guild spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands of gems. Have everyone else just spend pretty much nothing and just get it off of Soul Forge, whatever the weapon was. And, yeah, just get it done that way. Obviously, a lot of people probably wanted to buy tier 6 for the seasons, though, to have it. But, theoretically, it would have cost you net less gems for your guild overall if only a few people did it, due to how the scaling of the event was. Because it scaled way up if you had one single person who went very far. Yeah, mine didn't finish. We were one task short. You had to get to stage 11 completion. As long as you got stage 11 completion, if you bought tier 6 for the previous event, for the World Lore event, you would have had 3 Medals of Seasons, which is why we have 3 Medals of Seasons. And every additional one would have cost 500 more. That is way too much for a single seasons. 500 gems for a season. That is really expensive. And that's just a token, not even a badge or a medal. Just for the token itself, which you need 9 of for a badge. But luckily we can get 3 every single week. Pretty consistently. Though it costs like 1,000 something gems. It's a pretty expensive event. I'm not sure if I am going to do it next time around. And now that we have 3 seasons, I'm not sure if we will. Though it depends on what the scaling of the next event is. We'll definitely buy at least the weapon, obviously. Oh no, I kind of want to buy it to tier 6. But those are still pretty expensive. We're paying like almost 100 gems per token. Which I guess is an okay transfer rate, but still, it's a bit pricey. Because tokens don't have any inherent gem value, and you're spending gems for them. Obviously, they're useful, but still, it's a little bit weird. Plus, you need 9 of them just to even have any value. And even then, you're just going to be getting a little bit of epic upgrade for a little bit of stats. It doesn't get you that far for how many gems you're using. Huh. There we go. What horde level did you go to? 200. But we have 50%, so it's technically the effectiveness of 300. Dove level 300. But we leveled it to 200, but we have 50%. So it has a stats of 300, but it's set to 200 with 50%. And the 200 from leveling it, 50% from having drifting sands to level 14 or higher. And that's the kingdom level, not the star level. Our star level is at 18, which doesn't actually help us any for the delve, but it's tied at the highest amount of stars of any kingdom. Huh. Okay. We'll finish out this floor, and then 400. And then we'll probably call it a wrap for now. So if anyone still has questions, let me know. And then we'll be back in about 6 hours from now, 6.5 hours. And we'll be doing the rest of our battles. And we'll hopefully have a video up between then, just kind of going over the delve. Mostly the stuff we already mentioned, but just in a little bit more concise. As its own little video. One more, and that should be enough. Oh, nope. Not with 25% spell reduction, it won't be. What are you doing? Spell reduction trying to slow us down. Which reminds me, that means Drifting Sands isn't as viable to farm anymore for yellow. Why must every yellow kingdom that's good to farm that has a lot of yellows keep getting these? We did this yesterday for our yellow task. We went to Drifting Sands in order to get it done. But now they have a 25% spell reduction troop, which will make it more annoying. Why does every single yellow kingdom that has a lot of yellow have to have something that has something annoying in it? Mostly spell reduction. I think every most viable kingdom that has a lot of yellow in it now has spell reduction. There's still some that have an okay amount of yellow that don't, but every single one that has the most amount of yellow in them all have spell reduction now. It's kind of weird. Yeah, yellow seems to be the spell reduction color. However, the best spell reduction troop currently in the game, Tina 9000, actually does not use yellow. It is currently the best overall spell reduction troop, gaining both armor, a high amount of armor, a really high amount of armor, while having 50% spell reduction. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, out of every single color, I believe yellow does have the most amount of spell reduction. It doesn't have the best spell reduction in the game, but it has the most amount. And even something like 25% can be enough to make Explore not kill. I think 125% might not be an issue, but two of them definitely would. And one single 50% definitely is as well. It depends on what your damage range is for what you're doing, on if it would actually stop you or not. That depends heavily on what your stats are. So it may or may not, but any amount of spell reduction could be really annoying for Quick Kill Explorer. So unfortunately, Drifting Sands isn't as good. So that's kind of funny. I didn't even realize that at the time. But last night was the last time we could farm Drifting Sands properly. We actually got to use it to farm up the yellow event thing where we had to kill yellows. That was kind of convenient. I didn't even realize it at the time, but that's the last time we ever got to farm it normally. Also, I wonder if we would get another Valraven. If we get another Valraven, we might be doing Pure Faction tonight. If we get lucky enough to get a Valraven, we will do it tonight. That would be really funny if we do. I sure hope we do. So yeah, we might be doing it tonight then. Though no promises, it's based on pure luck. Fingers crossed. But if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we'll do it tomorrow night. But if we get lucky enough on it, we might. Because we only need one more Valraven. And then we'll have enough to do Pure Faction. Without having to spend another 200 gems. Okay, what do we need here? But does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, we'll probably be calling it a wrap for now. And we'll be back later tonight to finish out our battles. Hopefully Pure Faction as well. And we'll go from there. And do keep in mind, we will not be streaming Gems of War tomorrow morning. We'll be doing Animal Crossing. However, we'll still be having our nightly stream as we do every single night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Gems of War. which is in 6.5 hours from now tonight, as well as tomorrow, as well as every night. There we go. And hey, we didn't crash a single time, so apparently restarting our computer worked somehow for whatever reason. Not sure why, but it did. Go figure. But I'll send a support ticket too about that earlier. Hopefully we can get some of our gems back. They're probably busy this weekend and probably won't get to it till like sometime next week, but hopefully we'll get our gems back to some capacity. The ones that got wasted from the 3 disconnects. Because we lost 3 sigils and a whole Val Raven from that happening. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. Stay safe from the virus. And restarting always fixes everything, of course. Apparently. And yeah, we'll be back in about 6.5 hours from now. What's the Pure Faction team? Or what is the benefit of doing Pure Faction? A couple things. One is you get higher renown. Renown can be used to claim a bunch of various things as far as these over here. So, for example, you can get a bunch of these benefits from having a higher renown, like extra stats, extra random ingots per day, and a little bit extra gold. The gold's pretty trivial, though it does add up to 1,390 for how much total renown we have right now, and 35 total random ingots per day. But the main thing that is used for is a high renown is used for all these rewards. The biggest one being the pet. At 2,000 renown, you end up getting the pet. This does not require any Pure Faction. If you did everything else to full completion, you just get the pet. However, one thing that Pure Faction is used for is if you need a level 20 pet for a delve, or for a kingdom, I mean, you need to get Pure Faction for it. So you would have to go all the way to 2,500 and do level 500 Pure Faction to be able to get it done, which can be pretty difficult to do, especially without potion effects. But that's the main thing that's really used for, is more so these pets these days in the current state of the game. But you also get a little bit of stats and some other small rewards from having a higher renown. It's not something you really worry about until much later into the game. In early game and mid game, you pretty much just ignore factions, other than maybe doing like a level 21, like do City of Thieves at level 20 and just camp it. But other than that, you don't really bother doing delves because I don't know, it's just not a piece of content that becomes valuable until later in the game, because it's really expensive to get a high amount of renown, or really time consuming, both of which you don't really want to be doing with your time earlier on in the game. You'd rather be farming up gold and other resources that you really need. This is more so like an end game kind of thing, even though it can be accessed at any point pretty much throughout the game. It is mostly only done by people who are like level 1,200 plus, because doing it at any point prior other than just a spam for farming doesn't really get you too far, just because it's really difficult to get a high renown, and you might not have the gems to buy Pure Factions. Obviously, we have enough to do so, but quite a few people will not, and it's not that good of a value for your value on gems. I do it because we don't have too many other things to progress our account related to gems, so obviously we just go for Pure Faction for them. However, it is pretty bad value to do faction events like we're doing, even though we do it every single month when a new one comes out. It is really bad value compared to other things that you could be spending your gems on. And it's not really advised to do until you're really late into the game. Otherwise, it's a bit of a waste of resources. Maybe you might want to do one of them eventually, just because for the achievement, there's an achievement for having 2,500 renown for a single kingdom, having a kingdom completely finished. But it's not advised trying to do all of them earlier in the game. That's much, much later in the game do you bother trying for 2,500s, because it's really expensive and time consuming. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for stopping by. I will catch you guys soon. And actually, one last thing before we go head out. If I'm not mistaken, we should have all rewards off the thing. Let me go claim those and see if we get anything shiny. Can we get some good orbs? We were talking about orbs a bit this stream. So let me go claim our orbs. Let's see. How's our luck going to be today? Based on this morning, I would assume bad. But who knows? Maybe it's not bad. Let's see. Come on. Blue, blue, blue. We got a green. We got a green. Oh, gosh. Why did I open them on a day we have bad luck? Let me guess. Another green? Orange. 3 green and an orange. How horrifically bad is that? 3 green and an orange. We might as well have just gotten no orbs. That's basically the equivalent of no orbs. Why did I do it on a day I had bad luck? Fail. Especially after what happened last stream. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Oh, you still got a question from before. My bad. What was your question? Let me get to that before I go. Any other questions before I go? That I might have missed. Matt, what's your question? I don't see it. Or sorry, not Matt. Who was it? Sir Wolf. Sir Wolf. Where is your question? Where's your question? I'm going pretty far back. Could you repost your question? Last thing I see from you is saying I agree to someone else's thing. I did not see your question that you posted prior to that. But yeah, could you repost your question? Because I did not see it. Whether you would have a look at the Discord faction info. Oh, yeah, I can go do that for you. I'll go do that soon after the stream. I'm probably gonna go grab lunch at the moment though. But yeah, I'll go check it out. Oh yeah, it was at the beginning of the stream. I thought you were talking about a different question that I didn't see earlier. But yeah, I'll go check the Discord thing. I'll do that very soon. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone.